Okay, last week we started part one of a three-part lesson on what's called the Moeller method. It's a method of striking and hitting the drums that gives you a lot of speed and power with a lot less effort. And we talked about, last week, we talked about what was called the free stroke, which is allowing the stick to hit the drum and fly back up. Now, after practicing that, supposedly and hopefully during the last week, you should be able to practice to execute this free stroke pretty well. So we're going to move on now into what's called the Moeller method. Now, the grip for the stick for the Moeller method is slightly different from the way you would normally grip a stick. The way you'd normally grip a stick would be with these two fingers, thumb and forefinger, and then control the stick with your fingers, like this. Okay, with the Moeller method, the grip for your, especially if you're a match grip player, is slightly different. This finger doesn't do much. This first finger right here, your first forefinger, it doesn't do much. Just you grip the stick lightly with your thumb pressing against the back of your forefinger, and these fingers back here control the stick. This is the kind of way it looks right here. See here? This finger really doesn't play much into the equation. This finger is pretty much out of the picture. These fingers and the thumb do most of the playing. And the way you hit the drum with the stick is with a whipping motion, like this. As if you're cracking a whip. Just like you're cracking a whip. You hit the drum like this. Your hand's coming back. Now, for those of you who play the traditional grip, you hit the drum and it looks like you're swinging bird shit off of your hand or something. This is your motion for your left hand. Your right hand. Those of you with a match grip, you just do the same thing with both hands. It's this motion right here. It's a whipping motion. Okay, now the way I like to show and teach the Moeller method is using 3 strokes on each lick instead of 2, which would make the licks sound like this. And what you're doing is when you hit that drum the first time, the stick rebounds and bounces back and hits the drum twice. As you're moving your hand away from the drum, I'll do it real as slow as I can. That's a really exaggerated motion of the Moeller stroke. See it. And as you speed the stroke up, your hand, of course, doesn't make as exaggerated a motion. It's more like you're getting one good solid whack on the drum and 2 bounce strokes. For those of you who play the traditional grip, it's this hand kind of turns. It whips out as if you're slinging something off of your hand. And then as you bring your hand back, you get your other 2 strokes. Like that. Traditional match grip players, your left hand does the same thing as your right hand. So, it's a whipping motion, and you're holding the stick loosely. The stick is just very loosely held in your hand. Faster and faster, the motion becomes less exaggerated, and it's more just like a popping. This is the start of learning to use the Moeller method. Practice this, and then next time we come back, I'll start giving you the exercises to play, to practice and learn how to put the stroke together where it becomes, you can make a roll out of it, a fast roll. So the start, it's a whipping motion. And your hand is coming up as if you're making this motion right here. And then the faster it gets, the less pronounced that motion will be. So work on that next. It may take you a week or two, a couple weeks, or maybe even a month to get it down pat to where you can use each hand. But after you get it down pat, we'll move on to the next lesson. So that's lesson 2 of the Moeller method. Work on that using the free stroke, the grip I showed you, this grip right here, and using the whipping motion and hitting the drum and letting the rebound hit twice. Or for the traditional grip player, the motion is as if you were slinging something off your hand. So there it is. Work on it for a couple weeks. It may take a week or two to get it down pat. And then from there, we'll move on to step 3 of the Moeller method, how to work it into making a roll with it. And that's all for today. Thank you.